Thank you for staying with us. So last week, the Federal Ministry of Education unveiled a sweeping new national curriculum for basic, senior, secondary, and technical schools developed with the Nigerian Educational Research and Development Council, Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, National Senior Secondary Education Commission, and the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE. The most notable changes include a significant reduction in the number of subjects across all levels. Primary 1 to 3 now has 9 to 10 subjects. Primary 4 to 6 has 10 to 12. Junior secondary is reduced to 12 to 14. Senior secondary to 8 to 9, while technical schools will run with 9 to 11 subjects. In addition, 15 new vocational trades such as plumbing, garment making, solar installation, agriculture, digital literacy, robotics, beekeeping, and CCTV installation have been added to the basic education curriculum to boost employability. At the secondary school level, new subjects such as journalism, programming, artificial intelligence, that's AI, robotics, and fact-checking have also been introduced to align Nigeria's education with global trends and 21st century realities. The government describes this as a bold step towards reducing overload, strengthening technical skills, and making education more relevant. And joining us to have this conversation via Zoom to discuss the intended impact of this curriculum is Chief Yomi Otubela. He's the President, National Association of Proprietors of Private School. And also joining us via Zoom is Professor Funsho Olatunde, an experienced and dedicated teacher trainer and curriculum consultant, member of the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, and member of the Curriculum Organization of Nigeria. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. And also for our viewers to be able to join the conversation, please remember to call us on 020-163-52013 or 0902-416-3440, and you can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Welcome again, Chief Otubela and Professor Olatunde.
Thank you very much.
My first question will go to the professor, but first of all, for me, on paper, it reads wonderfully to me. I feel that we're finally catching up with the times, especially when it says that we've introduced vocational skills that will bring us, that will make whatever it is that we learn in school relevant to our everyday, life. We have issues where students who have read different sorts of subjects leave school and somehow can't find jobs because what they studied is not in keeping with the current realities. But I would like to find out from the professor, that's Professor Olatunde, if you think, given this new policy, that it strikes the right balance between academic rigor, vocational skills, and that this policy strikes the right balance. People may think it's an overload, it's too much, or do you think this is just the right balance? The number of skills, vocational skills that have been introduced and the number of subjects that have been reduced?
Thank you very much for that question.
Yeah.
If I think in all sincerity that we are striking the right balance, from my knowledge of the field, I will say on paper it seems so until you take a closer look at the details of the curriculum as presented. For example, at the junior secondary level and the senior level, you have agriculture, and then in there with trade subjects, you have livestock farming. And I mean, the question would be, what will you be doing in livestock farming that you cannot do in agriculture? So to your question, the answer is that on paper, we have made an effort. That's how I will put it for now.
Okay.
We have made an effort looking at what is happening globally. And of course, our peculiarity too has been taken into consideration. Remember that in recent times, we've had to import tradesmen from neighboring countries.
Yes.
So on paper, yes, we are trying to address an issue of overload. But I'm also asking myself, when you look at all the trade subjects listed, along the other subjects, you will begin to ask, is it within the space of the 8 periods, for example, in the secondary school system? I mean, you have 8 periods in a day, and that has not been adjusted. So, yes, we may have removed some subjects, but these 3 subjects, I have serious questions concerning how, at the end of the day, we are going to be helping our learners to manage work overload.
Okay. So
it's simply put, on paper we have attempted to strike a balance, but when it comes to the real implementation,
that's where the cocoa is.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so Chief Otubela, I would like to know, because I know that vocational studies have a different approach to it as an educationist. And first of all, I want to commend what you people are doing in trying to revamp the curriculum. Is something that we've always preached about, that we need to start raising future ready learners instead of just people who come out and then they don't have there's no bearing. They don't know where to fit in. You studied political science, you are working in the bank, there's usually this sort of mismatch because of our curriculum. So I'm happy this is happening. But my question is, looking at vocations, there's a special skill needed to handle the different types of vocation. Are we going to equip the teachers or get real vocational teachers who understand the groundwork, the practicality of those vocations in the schools to come as teachers, whether they are educated or not? Let's take, for instance, if we have to teach something that has to do with maybe children learning how to wire a car or something, and we decide to get a proper mechanic who does this for a living to come in and give the practical aspect, because we've seen situations where we've tried to do a form of vocation, but then we are doing it on paper and we don't have those. We don't have the manpower to handle it. We also do not have the infrastructure. So the children come out, I've learned how to use a computer, but then I've never seen a computer before. I've never seen, I don't know the input and output, I don't know what it means. I've not seen how a software is done and all of that. Are we going to now start focusing on getting the right fit for those vocations to be able to teach the children? Or are we still going to leave it for the teachers? You go and you are doing this, you are, share it across. You are teaching CRK before, but add robotics to it, go and learn online and come and give them something. Is that how we are going to do it?
Thank you so much for having me and for this request for clarification. I must say that it is an important process periodically to review national curriculum, and this is the practice globally. And we must commend the efforts of the policymakers for making an attempt to ensure that we review our national curriculum. And as you have seen it, the process of implementation is to start with this new academic session.
Yes.
And most of the things that are done in this review is just to address the existing curriculum with a view of reducing the load that hitherto has been present there. So the introduction of the trade subject or vocational studies are not new at all in Nigerian curriculum. Prior to now, we have about 36 of the vocational or what we call trade subjects that are in our curriculum. But with this review, we have a maximum of 6 and minimum of 5, and a child is expected to take one. Also, a school who could not have skilled staff that will take all these 6 subjects might decide to settle with 1 or 2 and do for skill subjects. Among the pre-vocational subjects that are adopted in this current curriculum is the computer software and hardware. Looking for a skill label in this regard is not what is difficult to do, because many of our graduates now have studied computer science and computer engineering, and over time, it is not new to school system that experts has been taking these courses within the school. There's also this issue of GSM, beauty, livestock training, and all that. So teachers who are into skills around agriculture, those who are trained for agricultural science, have prerequisite knowledge to take this livestock skill or trade subject. So anywhere we don't have at the moment, we continue to search until we can get someone we can fit in. But there are some among these 6 that are already skill are available. So in education, I must add here that no teacher is expected to take any subject in which he has never been trained for. All teachers will be limited to their area of specialization. So also in this the trade subject or provocational studies. We have something like solar PV installation. There are a lot of engineers who have practical knowledge in Nigeria about solar installation process, and school is expected to contact these people and bring them in and train them with teaching methodology and ethical issues around teaching, so that they can now match both the professionalism and of course the skill together to be able to deliver this subject to the children. So we are not going to overlabor the existing teacher. Rather, we are going to employ more hands to take all these additional pre-vocational studies and trade subjects.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief Otubela. We're now going to go on a short break, and we'll be back to continue our conversation. Thank you for staying with us, and we still have Chief Yomi Otubela and Professor Funsho Olatunde with us, talking about the new curriculum that's just been introduced. Amaka had a question.
Okay, yes, so my question is to Professor Olatunde. First off, I want to commend the curriculum overhaul, because we can't take away the time and effort it has taken for this to come up, right? But then I still have a lot of issues with this new curriculum, in the sense that I believe that time has been given and a team was put together and time was given for this whole curriculum to be rolled out, and it's supposed to start this new semester, right, for the kids. Term. And what I'm hearing and what the feel I'm getting is that, said it wasn't the implementation phase and a whole lot of things were not really put into consideration, because I don't know what the rush is if everything has not been seen through, right? In terms of training for specialized areas. And I want to believe that when a curriculum review is being done, we were trying to look for solutions to local challenges that we have, especially within the school and educational system. Why am I saying this? In Nigeria, how many robots have we built, for example? How many people are professionals in robotics? I would expect that they would have said, okay, which teachers are interested in training robotics in schools? They should come up and then in phases send them for trainings and stuff. Are we putting robotics in the curriculum when it's not something that we are vast in Nigeria, because we want to join global trends? It's just not adding up. It just seems like copy and paste, and things were just thrown in and not properly implemented and stuff like that. So can you tell us what's going on with that? Because it just seems like you guys have done a lot of work. We commend you for that, but it also seems like a waste of time, because we're now still having this conversation of implementation and not having qualified teachers or trainers to see this through.
So, Prof, that was to you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Now, the response to that would be that, yes, your line of thought is very correct, and it is usually the Nigerian thing in us. Many times when you have a new administration, the idea is to come up with something novel, something different from what is being done already. And like you just said, it will seem like copy and paste. There is something we call decolonization in curriculum, meaning that even if you are taking a curriculum from anywhere in the Western world you have to localize it. Yes, have global trend, but it must have your own flavor as a people in it. And uh, many times I feel we rush into implementation, but I'm guessing that probably for the lower basic, they are going to probably start with basic one and not maybe over time they might scale it up gradually because there are issues with implementation that I don't think has been factored in. You have mentioned teacher training just now. Beyond teacher training, I'm sure there will be some equipment, some tools that should be provided for a takeoff. And if these are not done, or if these are not done with enough sincerity, then there may be a problem. I'm sure the memories of our 6334, the technological aspect,
Yes.
is still fresh with some of us, you know. And you talk about training. Training is essential when you want to begin to implement a curriculum because there is what we call stakeholders buy-in. And if the teachers you want to even bring to say should volunteer for training, if in the first place they don't feel that the curriculum change is what is needed now, you have not convinced them enough. You are going to have a situation where they would attend to the training lackadaisically, or some may not even attend at all. Some may attend if there are some stipend attached to it and things like that. So teacher training is essential. But remember that we're in a country, God will help us, where we have some lean resources allocated to education. So are we telling ourselves that out of the lean resources that we have, that we are complaining about day and night, is where we're going to be getting tools and equipment, for example, to implement the digital technologies part or the repairs of computer parts and things like that. So it's a lot. The devil is always in the details. And I don't know why we're like that. We tend to attend to things piecemeal. One would have thought that the best thing to do is, okay, we have this curriculum. How do we go about implementing?
Okay.
Where do we start from? What logic would we present if we want to take the whole chunk at the same time? Why won't we just do a phased implementation over time? And considering the fact that there are issues around those who are stakeholders, especially the last line implementers, the teachers, and the trainers that you would bring. It's a good thing Chief spoke about getting experts and things like that. But in reality, when you go to school, or in the past we did some studies for Universal Basic Education Commission, and we found that many of the things they had on papers were not existing in schools.
Wow.
So this issue is fundamental.
Thank you, Prof, for that. We have to go on another short break. We'll be right back to continue this conversation. Please stay with us. Question.
Okay, so when I saw this, I was super excited, and I want to ask these questions. How fast is this going to start, and how will you ensure that all schools are going to start it as soon as possible? And is the questions, are you going to start? Is it going to be part of WAEC? Are they going to write exams, proper exams, at the end of the year?
Yeah, this is for Chief Otubella.
I've not heard what you are saying. I just started hearing you. Come back on those questions, please.
Okay, so I said I'm super excited that with this development, I'm just going to take it that you've done all your background checks. And I'm asking that how fast is this going to start? How soon is it going to start? Number two, how are you going to ensure all schools are going to take part in it? And then thirdly, I'm saying, is it going to be part of WAEC, that a question,
this
part of WAEC that the students are going to sit for at the end of
this year.
year.
Yes, thank you so much for those questions. Let me start from the last, whether or not it's going to start with WAEC examination. Yes, a curriculum is always going to be texted. However, there is always a space of number of years that those courses will take at minimum before they can be texted. For instance, for those subjects that are reviewed in the senior secondary school, it will start with the current SS1 students that will take such subject for 3 years of academic session. Thereafter, they can be assessed in the examination. Then for those classes who are in JS, it will start with the JS1 students, and gradually we will integrate it as they go on with other classes. The same thing is applicable to students in the primary school. Then in this review, I must also emphasize the fact that there is no much that is different from where we are coming from. All the existing subjects are either to be in existence from now. There are only few cases where we have seen subjects that are being merged. For instance, subjects in the senior secondary school, we have a subject like heritage subject, which has merged the existing social studies with history for the senior secondary school to learn under heritage and under civic education. So for those students that will be taking it, they are going to continue from their knowledge, the past knowledge that they have in those subjects, and consolidate it in one subject. Instead of having different subjects teaching similar concepts, the current review had made it easier for us to look at those subjects that are related and merge them together. For instance, the social studies and history are somewhat related because most of the content in social study are equally available in the history as a subject. So that has been merged together. We also have a situation whereby those teachers who are supposed to teach these subjects are going to go through some sort of training. So all schools may not be able, that is the truth on the ground, all schools may not be able to stand immediately this term, but it's expected that schools start putting machinery in place to ensure that they commence. I repeat, all the review is within the existing subjects that are already in existence. And as such, it's not going to be a totally new thing for schools to adjust and get into the federal government directive to implement it. In the three subjects in the senior secondary school category, like I've said, it used to be 36 trade subjects in the past that students can take one from. But now that has been reduced to only 6. Out of these 6, we have about 3 of them that are formally in existence, like the computer hardware and GSM repair had been in existence in the past. So for schools who are doing trade subjects or vocational studies in that area before now, can easily continue with that. And if there are content that are just been added, that can also be added. We also have livestock farming and horticulture and crop production. This is existing before in our agricultural sciences in the school, and it is easier for the agri teacher to also adopt to this. I think
so much,
with that, I've been able to attend to the question.
Thank you so much, Chief Otubela and Professor Olatunde, for joining us today. This was, I like that we got the clarifications that we've been asking about. Thank you so much again for joining us. Ladies, thank you for a good show. Yes, so thank you for a good show. And our viewers, we're sorry we've come to the end of today's show. See you again tomorrow. Bye for now.